Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy Sunday. This is Trena and Renee, Community Coffee with Trena and Renee. And we are so excited to be here with you again for the month of June. And we have a special guest with us today. So we're going to be talking about Global Continental Pageant System. It is a brand new pageant system directed by Lucretia Burton. And I know I'm forgetting her last name, and you can help me fill that
Saba,
in.
Saba.
Saba, yes, that's right. Thank you. So I am currently the Miss Classic Georgia Global Continental, and then we have our guest here, Rebecca Snap, who is our MRS, the Mrs. Georgia.
Hi.
And we are so excited to hear about the system. We'll both tell you a little bit about our platforms. And Renee's going to ask some wonderful questions. And we're just going to have a good conversation together.
So, good morning, everybody. And we thank you so much for joining us today. You know, it's been a while since we've been on the air with you. And summer is here, right? So we're still going to stick to our once a month visit with you. Probably in September, we'll really go back to our full twice a month meeting up with you. And we hope everybody is doing well. As we're waiting for Rebecca to come back on with us, it looks like she has a little internet issue going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the Global Continental Pageant. So, as you all know, you follow Trina and I from our journey with the Mrs. United States pageants, where we both competed for the Miss Woman United States of 2020. And since that journey, we have been looking into other pageant systems to see what fit our platform, what fit us. So Trina decided to go into Global Continental. And next month, you'll be hearing about my journey with Pageant Universe. So I see Rebecca is back.
Technical
So,
difficulties, guys. I'm sorry.
yes, that's okay. It happens. Welcome back. So we're going to start off with Trina because Trina is Miss Classic Global Continental 2021. So Trina, tell us a little bit about this pageant and why this pageant was so important for you to get into since it is a new pageant.
Yes. So the director, Lucretia, is from Georgia, and we've been following each other for a couple of years now. And her focus of putting service and volunteerism in the forefront was key and important to me. I've been volunteering with numerous organizations for many, many years, and one being the Immune Deficiency Foundation. As you know, I've spoken quite often about having an immune deficiency that was misdiagnosed for over a decade. And then I started working with I Am Love's organization to help individuals who have gone through some sort of trauma, whether it's sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional, verbal. I mean, we've all gone through trauma just within the last 18 months. So I've been working with I Am Love as the vice president of the organization and being a mentor, a coach, and an art therapist. I'm bringing my art therapy to the forefront to help individuals who've gone through trauma, how to process it, how to release those emotions, let it go, and giving them permission to color outside the line, if you will, trying to add a little bit of energy and positivity. And then lastly, I've been working with Rare Strides, which is an organization that helps to educate physicians and healthcare workers on rare diseases. because again, after over a decade of a misdiagnosed rare disease and immune deficiency, that's something that's just very important to me. And after working with resident physicians and upcoming physicians for over 15 years, I saw the gap there and I saw where the need was to educate our healthcare system and workers to be able to identify rare diseases and get the right treatment sooner for a better quality of life. So being a part of Global Continental was just a perfect fit for me.
So those are great accomplishments, but you are also an author. You have a coloring book out called Coloring Outside of the Lines, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So that's part of my legacy project.
And you also have a clothing line as well.
I do. I'm an intuitive abstract artist, and part of my legacy project, working with I Am Love, and my platform is Create Love Art Heals. And so basically it's an adult reverse coloring book where I provide the colors and you create the lines. So it's a safe place to come to release, anxiety, start your affirmations for the day, put positive quotes, doodle, because, studies show that doodling really helps with problem solving. It helps release stress and anxiety. So this book is a fundraiser for the Rare Strides and I Am Love to help provide education retreats for those who have gone through trauma or PTSD. Because 1 in 11 of us are going to suffer some form of PTSD in our lifetime.
Yeah. Now that you bring up about PTSD, I'm also in a play called They Call Us Crazy, which is about how PTSD not only affects the person who has it, but how it also affects the family. So this play was based around a military gentleman who are coming back from the war, but most people, just like they do with domestic violence, they never look at the children or the other spouse or whatever to see if there's issues within those particular family members as well. So you know me, I'm so proud of all of your accomplishments because when we met in February, you have really blossomed and come out of your shell. And I was always telling you, like, girl, you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that. And you need to be stepping outside the box because you offer so much information for so many people. So I'm very, very proud of all your accomplishments. And I know you won't bring that title home if you don't bring it home just for me. Girl, let me tell you, 2 snaps and a twist. You know me, I don't change. So now, Mrs. Rebecca Snap, did I say that correctly?
You did.
Now you are Mrs. Georgia Global Continental.
Yes, ma'am.
So what did the pageant offer you? What made you decide to join this pageant when I'm quite sure there were other pageants you could get involved with? What drove you to this direction for this pageant?
I'm actually along the same lines as Trena. I have heard great things about Lucretia and her service and how our tagline for the pageant is beauty meets service. And I feel like that is just a testament, honestly, to my life and my personality, because I feel like service is a huge thing that we can give in our communities, in our country, and our neighborhoods. And that just really kind of drew me to this particular pageant because I knew the backbone of it was service. And honestly, to me, that's what pageantry really is about, is having a larger stage to share your passions and your platform, as well as your sister queens.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been competing in pageants?
So I was in pageants in high school and college, and then I took a very long break, got married, started my career, and now I'm just back in it as of last year from this Georgia pageant back in October. Oh, so I'm back.
Okay, so now tell us a little bit about your platform and what your service is to the community. and how you feel as though being Mrs. Global Continental will benefit, not because global is not just in your area, right?
Right.
It's all global means all around the world. So
Correct.
how do you feel as though your platform is going to help the whole world per se?
Oh, that's a big question. My platform is Salute Our Soldiers, fighting for those who fight for us. And it brings awareness, support, and gratitude to our men and women serving both here and abroad. So there's the global tie-in. But I've just always had a special place in my heart for our military. My grandparents were both in the military. My husband's grandfather was actually a prisoner of war in World War II. And then, but what really sparked me into action to start serving my community and our military was a few years back on the radio. I heard a segment where a Marine was deployed over Christmas and said that no one in their troop received a card, a message, nothing. And I'm like, these men and women are sacrificing for our freedoms. The least we can do is send a holiday card. So that was my first event, was just a letter writing drive. But then since then, I've done several events for our military, both here and abroad. So some of the events that I've done. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No,
Please fill us in.
Sure. I was going to dive into some of my events that I've done recently. This past Halloween,
Okay.
I collected over 300 pounds of Halloween candy for our troops, just through neighbors, my gym, and then I'm on my third annual Sweat for a Vet workout, which you sweat for a vet. So you wear a name tag with somebody in the military and you sweat for them, and we raise money, we take donations, we hand out stuff to the kids. And then this summer, I'm teaming up with our Georgia Readiness Group, which is through the reserves, through a friend. So we're kind of tag teaming that. She's on the California side, and I'll be on the Georgia side. So blessed to do a lot of events. I had a private shopping party at one of our local boutiques up here. Have all the neighborhood girls shop until they dropped, and all the proceeds went to Soldiers Angels, which was awesome.
Wow, that's greatly appreciated. I was raised in the Air Force. My son is serving in the Air Force, and actually this weekend I'm in North Carolina celebrating the retirement of my brother-in-law, who gave 24 years in the Air Force.
Wow.
So I know that what you're doing is greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, ladies, now tell us a little bit about the Global Continental Pageant, and what does it take as far as prep time, and we already know about the community service part of it, but some people are under the misunderstanding that pageants are, oh, you just go put on makeup, you just go put on a bathing suit, you just go put on a gown, and you walk the runway per se. But all of us in pageantry know that that is not all that pageantry is about. So we're going to start with Trena. Trena, tell us a little bit about the prep time, about what to expect when you first arrive, and what the judges may be looking for.
Yeah, sure. So the biggest component is interview. So being able to have a conversation just like we are now, to be able to convey the passion and why we should be selected as the national title holder is key. And being able to be on point and be able to respond in a very, very short amount of time is also important, because I think we have like 3 minutes with each judge. So you have to be able to be quick and on your feet. Now, for some people, can be a little bit of a challenge. A few years ago, I fell down the stairs and got a traumatic brain injury and a concussion with that. So that's something that I have personally had to work on even harder, to be able to respond back quicker than the average person, and having to think about what my answers would be to the typical questions, just because I have have to be able to respond back in a little bit quicker time than the average person. The other thing is a physical component. Now, I'm in the classic division, and thankfully, I do not have to wear a swimsuit this year.
She's lucky.
I'm very lucky. But, that doesn't mean that I can just slack off. It means mindful eating, which I've already been doing. Having an immune deficiency and a rare disease, it's important that I stay on top of what I put into my body, because it will affect the symptoms of that rare disease. So that's something that I'm just very mindful of anyways. But most girls or guys who are competing are even more diligent to ensure that, they just look healthier during that competition time. Has a little bit of a struggle. As you and I have shared, Renee and I both broke our foot last year.
Oh, no.
So preparing for pageant can be even more challenging when you have a broken foot.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So my doctor has ordered me to be off of my foot. I've been off of it for about a month now. So I've had to find alternative ways. Swimming and kayaking. I have fallen in love with kayaking. Has been a new sport that I've picked up to help me stay fit. So those are the two important areas that I've been focusing on.
So now, Rebecca, as I can, in my pageant that I am going to be in July, we can either wear a bathing suit or resort wear. And as Trena said, it's still important to maintain body structure and poise and, okay, yeah, I don't have to wear that two-piece bathing suit this time. But guess what? I had decided not to wear a two-piece bathing suit, but have decided that I will wear a two-piece bathing suit.
Nice.
Yes. So go ahead, Trena.
You go, girl.
Props.
Competition last year, I wore a two-piece bathing suit, and I was a little leery about it, right, Trena? I was really, I shouldn't be wearing this bathing suit. I don't feel comfortable. But now my confidence in myself and how I carry myself and hey, girl, let's go. So I'm in the process of looking for another two-piece bathing suit. So Rebecca, now you do have to wear a bathing suit.
Yes.
In your age, is your division broken down by age, or are you who are you competing against in your division?
So I'm competing with other married women over the age of 21. That's the only requirement in my division.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So the requirement is also to wear a bathing suit?
Yes. So we wear swimsuit. We can wear one piece or two piece. And I'm with you. I'm going for the two.
So how do you prep for your competition, as far as with the bathing suit, with the interview process? And then after that, we will talk about evening gowns and how do you pick your color for the evening gown. But that's after you tell us how you prepare for swimsuit and for interview.
Right. So I'm with Trena. I try to practice on my interview the most, just because it is how the judges know who you are and how you will represent the brand and the system. So, but I am a talker. I'm chatty. So I try to keep my answers concise and short and quick. Like Trena said, it's hard just because I'm very comfortable with people. So it's hard not just sit down and just have a talk with them like I am with y'all. You want to be polished, you want to be poised, and still be, professional. You are friendly and all of that, but it's still, you have to be concise and get your points across so they know as much about you as they can in a 3-minute span. So I've been practicing my interview with my husband. Poor thing. He's asked me the same questions 5,000 times. And talking to myself in the car. And then for the physical aspect, honestly, I have a trainer. I go to Burn Boot Camp and just try to eat clean, run, lift weights, all the thing. I'm actually on a 7-day cleanse right now. So prepping for next week. So, and I think honestly, I just keep in my head with swimsuit because it is scary. It takes guts to get out there and strut your stuff. I feel like just keeping you are confident, you are rocking this regardless. Get out there and have some fun. That's what I tell myself. Don't just have some fun.
So ladies, so you have swimsuit, you have interview. Um, Next is the gown competition. So how do you decide which color gown, what is going to make you stand out as far as what gown you choose? How do you decide what to wear? Rebecca, we'll start with you first.
I like to pick an evening gown that I feel the most beautiful in. I don't try to think of like what shape did the normal missus wear or what, shape would look good on my figure the most. I feel like when I put it on, I'm like, oh yeah, like that's the one. And I like to look a little different than everyone else. So I try to get a design or a fit or a color that might be different than the other misses or the normal missus gowns that you have seen in the past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Trina.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually going with something a little different this year.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I was very traditional, somewhat, at the United States system. So this time I'm going different. And I'm not going to reveal because it is different, but it is fun. And I'm really looking forward to wearing it.
Well, for me as well, I'm going different. And it is fun. And I've been looking at a whole lot of different designers to see what I would like to have done. So I have actually designed my own gown.
Oh, nice.
So when I compete, it's going to be totally not the norm for, like you say, the normal slim fitting or uh, ruffle color. I still like bright colors. I think for my skin tone, bright colors really work really well for me. So I am going bright colors this time as well. So we're going to be rocking that stage, ladies.
Yes. Well, I think that one fortunate thing for us is that this is the first national competition for the system. And so
Right.
we don't have a standard, per se that has been established. So
Right.
it makes it a little bit more fun to be able to do that, to come in and be our authentic self. And I
Yes,
think that's
yes.
so important.
Yeah, I agree.
And you don't want to get lost, right?
Right.
And sometimes we think about this is a job interview we're going on, correct? We are going to represent a brand that is hopefully going to pull in other people to join this brand and build this platform, right? So what we want to put our best foot forward when we go out and do the things that we do for the organization. So by this being a new baby, because this is a baby getting ready to take its first steps. So everybody that's in this competition should be geared toward making this the best pageant that is out there in the system to draw people in, right?
Right.
Exactly.
The face of the system.
Yeah.
Yes. How many contestants will be competing in this pageant this year?
It's a mystery.
It is a mystery. We don't know. It's so interesting because Renee, you know how I am, and last year, I sought out every single person that I could
Yes.
to be an encourager and to network. And I mean, it won me the congeniality award.
Yes.
But it's been very challenging to be able to see who is who. So we're not 100% sure,
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
it'll be
surprise.
fun.
Surprise.
It's a surprise. Yeah, it'll be fun. But Rebecca and I actually ran into each other at one of our sponsors, and that was the first time we had actually met face to face.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it was.
So this pageant is on the state level. So everybody competing will be competing for Georgia.
No, so we are going to nationals.
Okay.
It is this upcoming week in Orlando.
All right now.
Yeah, I'm actually going to leave Tuesday morning. I'm going to go to Disney World.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go visit with my cousin and his wife are coming down from Iowa. So I'm going to get some family time in there before heading over to the competition hotel and then settling in and getting ready for the competition.
So do you know who you're rooming with? You don't know any of that.
Well, we actually booked our own room, so
okay.
I do know who my roommate will be.
Okay.
We decided to room together. But it's up to each individual for this system, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's different because when we were at United States, they picked who you roomed with. So it's easier, I feel, to room with somebody you feel like really comfortable with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it really helps with the mojo, the energy vibe,
and you're already nervous.
Yeah, exactly. So it helps with that comfort level, and I think it helps boost your confidence when you're around somebody that you already feel good about.
Right. So do you ladies have your delegate pages set up so that our viewers and listeners can follow you on this journey? If so, please give that information out so everybody can follow you.
Yes. And I see that Lucretia actually responded. How many? We have 23, mainly in the upper divisions. So in the MRS, the MS, and the MS Classic is where it looks like most of the delegates are coming from. And before we give our contact information where you can follow us, we do actually have two questions from our viewers that they would like for us to ask or answer, I mean. So the first one, and both of these are from Patrice. Thank you, Patrice. I appreciate you following us.
Is that my girl, Patrice Hawthorne?
Yeah,
yeah, girl. Go ahead, Patrice.
Is wonderful. Yes, beautiful voice. So Patrice asked, if you had a chance to discuss a social issue with world leaders, what social issue would it be?
Rebecca, we'll go with you first.
That's a toughie. A social issue with world leaders. I would discuss, honestly, if I could have a discussion with world leaders, I would discuss education. I feel like there's a breakdown in opportunities in education for people. I feel like college can be expensive. I feel like with the student loans, and then, you're hearing rumors of them being erased and then they're not. I feel like if we could come up with a good plan, and especially I'm from a small town, so I feel like rural areas sometimes don't get the opportunities that other areas do. So I feel like just kind of making a plan for education to be equal among everyone in all parts of the country, up into the college level as well. So like everyone gets a chance to go. That's what I would talk about.
That's very good. That's very good. What's the other question Patrice asked Trina? Because I can't see the questions.
What's the most memorable moment for you within pageantry?
Trina, you grab that one.
Okay. Well, I would say I have been competing for over 20 years. My first national competition was in 1999 when my good friend and mentor, Janice McQueen Ward, representing North Carolina, won the national title. And this was big time Vegas style. Back in that day, pageantry was huge. Every single state was represented. We even had, I think, somebody from DC there. And Janice and I got to go down in almost like the basement and get on this platform. And we were raised up onto the stage like a real showgirl experience.
Wow.
Got to really have that Vegas vibe. So,
I'm putting that on my bucket list to be
my God.
Yes. Form or fashion.
That was such an amazing experience. And you know what was even more special is that her and I are still friends
Yes,
over
yes.
this time, span. We lost contact over years, but then regained contact, and she's just an amazing person. So the sisterhood and pageantry is real.
And that's very important because when you start going on this journey of pageantry, it's a little different because the bonds that you create should stick with you through wherever you go. Like Trina and I, Mama Moody, we all decided that we were going to go search different pageants. And we decided that we weren't going to compete against each other. So if somebody said, "Oh, I'm going to do global continental pageant," we said, "Okay, you go do that one. We're going to root for you." Same
That's
with
a good
United
friend.
States pageant.
Mhm.
Mama Moody said she was going to go do United States pageant. Me and Trina said, "Okay, fine, you go do United States pageant. We'll root for you." And the same with me because we want to spread our wings and we want to learn different systems, but we also want to give our counterparts the opportunity to win that title, right? Even
I
though
have a
we
motto.
support each other. Oh, go ahead, Rebecca.
Well, I
I'm
was going to
sorry. Go
say, I
ahead.
have a motto that says "Queens support queens." So,
Yes.
100%.
Mhm. And so that's what this year is so different for us because we are not together, but we are together because I'm
Mhm.
rooting Trina. I'm on the phone. Okay, aren't you leaving this week? You got everything packed? What you got? Did you get your shot? Did you make sure you did this? What did you do? And then she'll call me and say, okay, you're leaving in July. What you going to do? You got your gown ready? So it's all about loving on each other and remaining as close as we were when we did United States pageant. Because my takeaway from United States pageant was I built relationships that I would not have built otherwise. So together we developed a love for each other, a love for the pageant system, and a love for all those that we try to bring into the pageant. Wouldn't you agree about that?
Yes. Oh,
100%.
yes. Now we
Hmm.
actually
So,
have a third question.
okay.
What do you hope to gain from the national pageant next week besides the shiny hat? I love that, Lucretia.
who,
The
who,
shiny
who wrote
hat.
that one?
Lucretia.
Lucretia did.
Okay.
She's watching her girls.
Um,
Anything you want to go?
yeah, sure. So for me, it is that connection, that not only the sisterhood, but the opportunity to share and connect on a global. I have been working with individuals globally. I have clients in South Africa and India, but I think that this opportunity really helps to broaden it even more. I think it's important to bring forth the mental health issues that we have globally that we've all experienced over the last 18 months in the forefront and
Hmm.
bring creative tools as a way for healing. And so this is the opportunity for me to share that no matter what your platform is, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's the VA, the veterans, creative healing tools can help so many people. And so this is my opportunity to do that.
And Rebecca, can you answer that for us too?
Sure. I think what I would gain from the national title would be a few things. First, I would gain a larger platform to promote not only my platform of Salute Our Soldiers, but with Love Global, Lucretia's platform, my sister Queen's platforms, and honestly gain the opportunity to just be a light to other married women that we can still compete in pageants, we can still make a difference in
Hmm.
our communities, and finally just gain a whole new level of sisters. I've really enjoyed the time with my Georgia sister queens. We've all grown close, and it would just be exciting to have a whole new set of sister queens to share in this journey together.
So I have a question. My question is, how many delegates are coming from Georgia?
I
I
think
believe
every
there's 5.
division,
Mm-hmm.
I think every division is being represented in Georgia. So
how many divisions do you have?
I think there's 6 or 7.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So now my question is this.
there's 7.
As,
Lucretia
as
says
a jo-
7.
Thank you, Lucretia.
thank you, Lucretia. Thank you
I
so
think there's
much.
6.
So as a state that has 6 delegates going from your state, the state of Georgia, how do you feel as a team? And I'm sure that all of you have gotten together and had your little Zoom calls and meetings and stuff like that. How do you help build up each other in your team, and how do you let that shine to the social media, seeing what's going on? What do you do together as a team to promote your state of Georgia?
We've had several events among the Georgia Queens, and also just promoting each other, lifting each other up. Our Miss Chantu was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. We all promoted it. We all shared it. Just really, again, Queens support Queens. It's just being there for your sisters and promoting their passions and their platforms, attending their events, sharing. Thank you, Trina, for inviting me to this. Just like encouraging and supporting your fellow sister queens. And Georgia's coming strong. So
Yeah.
Yes.
So that to me is the main thing. When you see a state of Queens come together and go after those crowns as a whole unit, it just brings a more powerful impact, right? It makes people take notice. Wow, them Georgia peaches is like up and coming. Y'all better watch out. Y'all better come with y'all A game, because Georgia is going to be rocking the house, right? So this is that's another form of sisterhood, because you have joined 6 lives together out of your 26 lives, and you have bonded. So even after the competition is over, you're all still going to be family.
Right. And we're
Absolutely.
strong individually as women, but just, think of us together.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You ain't got you. That's powerful. That makes a statement.
I feel it.
That's unity.
Yes.
That's when you can come together as a state with multiple contestants or delegates. That's showing unity in your state. That's showing your state, look, we are from all different walks of life, all different ethnic backgrounds, and we're coming together going after the same goal, to uplift, empower, and build each other up. Right?
Exactly.
Very important. Very important.
And that leads into this last question that we have. Has being a pageant changed your personality, or have you discovered something about yourself that you didn't know?
And who that come from?
Patrice.
I knew that came from Patrice.
Yeah. Well, I have to share that this is something very interesting, because I didn't start competing until I was married. I was in MRS in my very first pageant, and I was a college student. And pageantry is actually what defined what I was going to go to college for. And it's what pushed me into getting my MBA in marketing, and what formed my career. If I had never competed, I'm not sure what I would be doing in this world right now, but it really defined me as an artist, as a public speaker, because it pushed me into being a professional public speaker for over 15 years for colleges and universities. It put me into marketing highlights, and it is who I am today. How
Rebecca,
about you,
would you like to answer?
Sure. I think pageantry hasn't changed my personality at all, but I think it showed me that I'm a little more gutsy than I thought I was, and a little more focused on things that I really want. Like, I've always been driven. I've always gone for what I want, but just the preparation and the passion and the desire, and like really putting yourself out there to, literally be judged, takes some guts. So I'm proud of myself to actually make the big step back into pageantry. I think I'm a little more gutsy than I thought I was.
Well, for me, pageantry the reason why I got into it was to show women of domestic abuse and cancer survivors that no matter what they went through, they could still go out there and reach their goals. In a domestic violence situation, your self-esteem is knocked all the way down to the point of where you doubt everything and everybody. So getting into pageantry as a 40-year victor over domestic violence, not only changed my life, but it has changed so many women's lives and children's lives to realize that you can get out of those situations, you can rise out of the ashes, and you can reach for the stars. Every last one of us here today is living proof of that. That with Trena's immune deficiency, she didn't give up. She never stopped. She kept going forward until she could find what was wrong with her and get the help that she needed so she wouldn't be sick anymore. Rebecca, you came out and said, look, here are soldiers going off to fight battles and fight wars for us, and nobody's even taking the time to send a card or a candy or just say hi, thank you for doing what you're doing. So each one of our platforms are very important to the world. It shows the world that with what we do now, we can bring a positive outlook to the goals that we set for ourselves and make somebody feel good and want to come along and say, wow, I want to do that. I want to do. And pageantry is a job. It's an interview process to get that main job, to wear that crown, to represent that system, to represent your country or your state. So I'm very proud of both of you. Trina, I love you so because you like in less than a year, you have like bam, bam. And I'm like, okay, girl, that picture looks nice. What you gonna do with that picture? And to find her clothing line coming out and people purchasing her clothing. She could walk down the street any given day and see her artwork walking down. Oh, that's mine. Yeah. How powerful is that? You, Rebecca, I'm sure you get thousands and thousands of letters from soldiers and their mothers and fathers saying thank you for what you're doing and how you're doing it. So I'm very proud of both of you.
Thank you. We're proud of you.
Both the best of luck. I'm rooting. Girl, please. I'm just here to motivate and build everybody up, So I thank God for giving me the platforms that I have. I thank God for bringing people into my life who have allowed me, Patrice for one, because that girl, she never give up. Come on, Renee, let's keep it moving. But when you started asking the questions, I knew they were from Patrice. So it's powerful and wonderful to see people follow you that we never know who's watching us, right? So I always say, always wear your crown with pride and dignity because somebody is watching you. You may not know it, you may not see it, but they are watching you.
Absolutely.
Trina, 100%. Any last words before we sign off?
No, I just, hopefully maybe I'll get the opportunity to go live while I am there next week and maybe bring in some of my sister queens and maybe do some impromptu interviews like we did in the fall, where Renee and I did that with some of our other sister queens. So I'm hoping to do the same thing at Nationals with Global Continental. So you all can see a little bit more about that system and decide for yourself to be the next state representative.
Yes. Rebecca, any closing words?
Yes, I just want to thank you both for having me. This was super fun and super encouraging. And Renee, I think you and I could be friends. But
we already are. Girl, we already are friends. What you talking about? We're not friends. We sisters.
Yeah, this was amazing. And thank you so much. And I'm so excited for next week. Trina, I'm glad you'll be there by my side. And we're going to bring it. And Lucretia, we're excited. We're ready. I know you're watching. So thank you guys.
Yes.
Y'all just make sure y'all, Trina, when you do those live broadcasts, just ping me so I can come on in and put my little 2 cents in and see what everybody is doing. Because this is how we build, right? This is how we empower. This is how we enlighten. This is how we change the world, right? If it's one person at a time, we're changing. We're changing something.
Absolutely.
So as we get ready to sign off, we like to thank you for joining us today on Community Talk with Trena and Renee, and our special guest, Mrs. Georgia Global Continental 2021, Rebecca Snap. We thank you for joining us today. And Mrs. Georgia Classic Global Continental 2021, Miss Trena Myers. Good luck next week, ladies. I'm expecting at least 2 crowns to come back with my Georgia girls, and I'm not going to be there in my physical body, but I will be there in spirit. And when Trena hits those buttons, I will be there to watch and see what's going on. I love you both dearly. Thank you for being my new sister, Miss Rebecca.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Latricia, if you're still on, thank you so much for putting this pageant together. I wish you much success. To all our followers and friends, we love you. Patrice, thank you for your questions today. You really rocked the show for us. God bless you all, and we will see you in July.
Thank you.